Hello there. Yesterday, Netsafe put out a really fascinating report about misinformation and disinformation, or incorrect information, because saying those two words over and over gets a little bit cumbersome. And basically, it was a statistical breakdown of who is seeing what around the country. So nobody was blamed for spreading this, and nobody was named as being the person who is creating this kind of crap. But who it is that's actually seeing it is what was analysed. And it was really fascinating. 48% of New Zealanders see at least some form of incorrect information every day. Every month, that goes up to 91%, because not everybody's online all the time. I have to remember that when I'm talking to my parents. There are some really specifically targeted groups as well within this. So, for example, Māori had seen 74% of incorrect information about Māori that are being sent to them. You've got groups like the Rainbow community, the Pacifica community, neurodivergent people, and people over 60 who are really specifically targeted by certain types of incorrect information. So, for example, people over 60 are much more likely to see incorrect information around the vaccine and COVID-19. Women are more likely to see incorrect information around celebrities than men are. Younger Kiwis between 13 and 17 are less likely to see incorrect information around politics. 18 to 29-year-olds have a much more higher frequency of incorrect information around conspiracy theories, just in general. The LGBTQIA plus community and neurodivergent people are much more likely to experience people expressing opinions that are incorrect around things like science and history, and people aged over 65 and neurodivergent people are much more likely to see incorrect information around climate change. So these kind of breakdowns are really fascinating to see who's seeing what and how these algorithms work and how other people in the community are being affected by this. At the same time, though, we're seeing things like only 28% of people feel confident that they can identify incorrect information, which is really low. And people get really upset when they're shared this kind of stuff. Most people share it out of a need or a want to help others or inform others. But when you share information like that, people get upset, angry, they feel like they can't trust the source or they can't trust the person who sent them this information, which might go some way to explain why people are kind of grumpy. One of the things that really came through, though, is that this year being an election year, incorrect information, misinformation, or disinformation is really important for people to be able to identify and really important for people to be able to knock on the head and point out where people are screwing things up. So, make sure you do some research. There's a whole bunch of resources online on how you can identify incorrect information if you need it, and find some sources that you trust who have a good track record of making sure that you're informed. So that when we go into this election year, you're not having a whole bunch of really stupid bullshit sent your way from people who think that it's fact.